Alright, what's up guys, it's your boy KB. You know, we in this building, getting into it. Draft League, Data Draft League, match week 1 versus my boy, Anthony. It's pretty funny because, I don't know, like, we're friends. And I was like, alright, yeah, Anthony, we're gonna like help each other prep with like mocks and stuff. And if we see our week 1 randomized match order and it's us versus us, we're like, crap, we didn't have a plan to get help first. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. You know, still we must persist. So you can see our teams here. I haven't recorded the team breakdown, so this is also gonna be the team breakdown. But yeah, as you can see, as the coach of the Toronto Staraptors, I of course naturally drafted the Raptor himself first. Powerful Staraptor, Final Four of P-Dove. That's not actually true. That's just a meme. But y'all don't know about that show anyway. But yeah, so we got Vat. Williams call was taken, so I grabbed Grimstorm, next best support guy. I wanted a Meowstic male as like final support for Staraptor, but I couldn't get it, so whatever. I saw Basket Legion female is pretty open as a nice steal for cheap points, so I grabbed that. And then I was practicing with Staraptor on ladder before, and I kind of stole the idea from Cybertron. I'm like, hey, this sweet anti-flosion guy kind of covers all of Staraptor's weaknesses, you know, like ghost types, psychic types, those kinds of annoying guys. We got it covered. So I'm like, you know, sometimes annoying steel types, sometimes like meta and stuff like that. That can speed tie and annoy you. Guys like Mawile, right? So it's pretty sick. Then I needed a grass because there's like 3 rain teams in this draft, and they took all the good grasses were basically gone. So it's like Sceptile, Valplume, you know, Victory Bell left, and like a couple starters like Meow. And I was like, oh yeah, these guys are going quick. Yeah, I guess Rotom mode too. So I was like, you know, I'll grab Sceptile. Well, I was originally gonna grab Serp for like double contrary synergy because that would be funny. But Serp's gone. We grab Sceptile because backup Mega could also do some things. And then obviously, you know, if you're grabbing Sceptile, you're gonna want a discharge support guy. So I grabbed Jolteon because normally you grab a Rotom there, but Jolteon supports Staraptor better than Rotom does because Jolteon gets Tickle, and you know, contrary Tickle, pretty good. It also gets like a Charm and like Fake Tears, so that's also really good. In addition to the discharge strats, I grabbed Golden Joe just because he was open, honestly, and I needed a steal inside a Golden Joe or Emp, and I was like, well, I got water, so I might as well. I mean, granted, I already have a ghost, like 2 ghosts, so I really didn't have to make that decision. But I think Golden Goal is like nice offensive pressure from a steel type that Empoleon kind of doesn't have, by being like, you know, a slower and weaker Mon, right? So now I can like actually scare out like guys during like Floette, Gardevoir, Sylveon, right? Because one of the easiest things to do to get Staraptor is just send out a bunch of fairies and scare it away. You have Slurpuff. Honestly, drafting Slurpuff was literally him. Like I was just like basically, cause here's the plan. I was gonna grab Meow, and then I was gonna have like 4 points left. So grab Slurpuff for 2 and something else for 2, and someone stole Meow. But I was like, I'll grab Slurpuff first because we were taking the good 2-pointers, right? So I grabbed Slurpuff, and then I lost both Meow and my other 2-pointer, which is gonna be like, I think more Pico or something. So I was like, oh, it's Ulker. So I grabbed a Spoffer over Meow. Well, it's not over, but like, you know, as backup to Meow, because Spoffer is like surprisingly good in draft. Just like it's decent synergies, smooth pulls, and has some cool tech it can pull off. Honestly, I still don't know. I still I hate to admit it, but This Slurp of pick. I mean, I don't know. This guy's just here for the vibes mainly. He has like some stuff. He has like Sweet Veil, so you know, he makes your extended field of view to sleep pretty relevant in this matchup because there's Vivillon and Valplume, two of the primary sleepers in this format, so that's nice. It gets Unburdened for shenanigans, but I mean, this guy's stats are terrible. But I mean, you'll see what we end up doing. And then last week I got Empoleon because I had a bunch of extra points left after picking a Spafra. So then I was like, what's the best Pokemon that's worth like 7 points? And then there was like some stuff. There was like, it would have been better like type synergy, right, as opposed to Empoleon. But I don't know. This is more like a personal choice. I like using Empoleon personally. He's a good mon. I mean, he's a bit redundant on my team because I have really good water and really good steel type already, right? Being competitive is cool. This guy gets some like interesting moves that the others don't. He gets like Vacuum Wave and stuff. And like there's like some stuff he does better than like most other guys would. Like I think if we're doing like a Calm Mind pass strat with a Spafra, Empoleon's probably the best bet as like a, well, it's either that or Basque. I guess Gold too. Never mind, they're all pretty good at doing that. But hey, depending on the matchup, one of these guys might be better than the other. I mean, yeah, you can see after these draft here, there's basically a bunch of modes on it. There's Blast, Draft for Trick Room, but also like, you know, Draft Torkoal. I'm gonna call the Draft Fridge because that's what they usually call them. And then there's you know, Valplume Torkoal for after use synergy that kind of popped off recently. And then there's like also Vivillon, who's like pretty good on these types of teams as well. Like funnily enough, it's like for the first 5 here, like literally, like, kid you not, like back-to-back days after draft, like I like checked Twitter, and these guys are like placing like top cut in like every tournament, not every tournament, but like multiple tournaments, like teams kind of like this. And I was like, you know, I think Wolfie or someone used Valplume, and like, you know, anyway, these guys are getting pretty great results recently, so I think that's really funny that Anthony was like technically slightly ahead of the curve on these guys. But I mean, like, you know, Chlorophyll plus Torkoal is an old gen strat, Vivillon's an old gen guy, Draft and Blast has been, you know, pretty good since the start of MA. Now there's Weavile for fake out support. Cause, you know, Ice Cover is pretty good in like dragon stuff. You got Fire, Water, Grass, you kind of want to hit those. And there's Taurus Fire, Intimidate Pressure, pretty useless against my team because my physical attacker kind of wants to get intimidated, at least after turn 1, right? And there's Hisuian Gudra, like really good like water resist and special wall, which is pretty bad for me because like I have so many special attackers on my team. But at the same time, like it's not like too terrible. Because, well, at least it doesn't resist fire, so his U-type flow is gonna at least do like 30%. I mean, Sceptile gets Earth Power now, but I mean that's doing like peanuts. Yeah, it's getting awkward back by the Dragon move, and yes, it's still doing peanuts at +1. And yeah, this thing actually just makes Jolteon worthless. And then he has a Rotom Mo as well, so you can, like, you know, not just lose to water types. Because Valplume is, you know, that guy defensively, not the most reliable, but and then he has Mr. Rhyme for the screen cleaning, and I guess like follow me too. Like honestly, I didn't realize this guy's like the cheapest follow me guy in the format. So honestly, it's surprisingly solid. But yeah, so those are the teams. Right, and then now you can see the speed tiers here. Relevant stuff, you have a bunch of guys around base 60. Right, is Blastoise, his primary trick room attack, one of his primary trick room attackers is 78. So I have several mons that can underslow it, which is pretty nice. Nothing underslows the giraffe, unfortunately, but I mean, that's what you get with the fridge. The fridge kind of, I have like one fake outer. The fridge, I mean, I don't know, like I could run a dark move and then hit the fridge, and then, so like that's not a terrible match, like match wise, but I mean we don't know if he's cola berry or citrus berry until after we like potentially first game of Typhlo, so not the most reliable strategy, but I think that's enough for team overview. I guess I'll say who I think he's gonna bring. Basically I think he's bringing the top 6, and then maybe Guja squeezes in somewhere around here as well. But yeah, definitely you wouldn't call without. I mean, he has 1 Mega, right? So yes, so it'd be pretty weird if he didn't bring the Mega Blastoise, right? And if you're gonna bring that, you have to bring the giraffe. You have to bring the fridge. The fridge is showing up. No doubt about that. And also like prevents me from like Choice Scarf Lash respecting his whole team, which is pretty nice because I mean his only lash structures are the fridge and the Weavile. On top of that, I think Vivillon's pretty annoying. I mean I have the like, even if you like, is Klein really gonna bring Slurpuff? He's right, that is a good question to ask. So he could bring it, and it could be annoying. I think Weavile, I mean this is only fake out pressure. I do have like 3 ghost types, so I'm like not the guy you really want to be clicking fake out against, right? But at the same time, if he doesn't bring Weavile, like look at the speed tiers, like I'm basically like completely dominating him. Taurus Fire is doing nothing to start after because Intimidate, and then I get defense boost, and also wall by Typhlosion, right? So you can just ignore this guy. This guy's like not that great into my fast guys. So if you look over here, after Vivillon, I just have a bunch of major threats. It's hopefully something I'll be able to take advantage of today. Is the speed tier advantage, because I have a guys like all over the ranges. I just don't want any really slow guys. So yeah. As for a trick room, I have some interesting tech. I guess I'll get into that later. But as for other guys you could bring, the Rotom isn't bad. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it hits Staraptor, right? Like, that's the thing, is that Staraptor is like low key almost pops off here, right? It's just the only problems for Staraptor, the right actual problems. I mean, we don't Oko Rhyme, I think, if he like invests into it, so we're gonna have to buff up for that, and it hits a super high, you get stabbed. And then Weavile, Weavile speeds us raw, and Triple Axle is gonna hurt like hell, even at +1 defense. So that's probably like the most annoying thing, honestly. And then Rotom can burn us, and we don't want to get hit by electric move either. So I think, so as you can see, right, like between those guys, I'm definitely gonna want Staraptor to have some support, right? Now notice how all those guys get completely dumpstered by Typhlosion, which is kind of the core of the team, basically. Core of my strategy is basically Staraptor, Grimmsnarl, Typhlosion. Basically like, destroy literally everything on this team not named Mega Blastoise, right? And then we have some plans for that, as you'll see once I walk to the team builder section. So yeah, let's go there. Team squad. Alright, so actually I'll probably just explain. I'll show them. Ignore this, I was testing something. Also ignore my other team. Oh, I was mocking his team on Showdown. Pretty funny, I know. But yeah. So you can see here, like, the first thing I'm thinking of is, alright, you know, what do we do in order to beat his two main modes, right? Which, if we go back here, this is what I think he's gonna bring. So I think Blastoise Giraffe and Vileplume Torkoal, and then are probably his most likely leads. I guess he can also lead Blastoise and Weavile, or Blastoise and Vivillon, right? I mean, Fridge Torkoal also works, but that just feels like a worse version of Fridge Toys. Like, you'd bring that if you think I'm gonna be especially fire weak. And, well, I respond to these the same way, basically. But yeah, so starting with Fridge Toys, if you look at my team builder here, alright, Blastoise gets Fake Out. Oh, I forgot to mention that he has two Fake Outs for Blastoise Weavile, right? So, this is the dilemma I'm stuck with, right? Is that I need to figure out a way in order to, you know, either stop his Trick Room from getting up turn 1 and, like, you know, prevent myself from losing to Blastoise quickly, right? Or, you know, be able to neutralize all of his Trick Room threats, you know, if Trick Room does go up, right? But stopping Trick Room from going up is pretty hard because Blastoise gets Fake Out, and I don't know if it's gonna Fake Out or Protect, right? So, like, that's like basically like 50-50 kind of. In Anthony's favor because he gets to decide the risk he wants to take, right? And on top of that, I guess there's an extra risk, which is, since you see I'm leading with a bunch of ghosts, he could easily just Mega Turn on, like, go for like either like a water move, or, you know, just Dark Pulse and like immediately pick up a KO, which is obviously like really bad for me, right? So yeah, I kind of don't want that to happen. So against that, basically against that, the idea is I'm gonna employ so I mean, I guess I'm still like, I guess, kind of like deciding, but I've given myself a lot of options here, right? So essentially, I have Iron Ball on Basculegion. Now, since we speed tie Basculegion and Blastoise Mega, actually I think it's just I speed tie normal Blastoise. I don't remember if Blastoise Mega is slower. I have to double check that. 78. Yeah, Blastoise doesn't gain any speed. Pretty sure. So yeah, we speed tie, right? But, you know, he's holding the Megastone, right? So if I rock Iron Ball, now I'm definitely slower than him in Trick Room, so I actually get to abuse that, like, way more than he does, right? Because the only way he slows this down is like bringing out like Vileplume, or like you know, or like Vileplume, or like a Torkoal, I guess, to set up the sun. Oh, well, Torkoal's still taking a billion, but you know, Torkoal setting up the sun slows down his own Blastoise from doing damage, which lets my Staraptor get set up later really easily. And, well, I guess Vileplume's pretty annoying, but we can work around that. We can work around that because guy in the back, Stefan Castle, the Grimmsnarl with a nice taunt here, is basically ready to shut down any Vileplume shenanigans. We also have Light Screen. As you can see, his draft is like all like a billion special attackers, and then there's like Weavile and Tauros. I guess Gudra's like 100 physical attack too, but yeah. But basically all the threats are special attacking, right? So I'm like only running Light Screen here, and then, you know, being extra greedy, running Taunt, Fake Tears, and Scary Face. Scary Face, nice speed control, and also boost Raptor in case I want to outspeed something like the Weave. Fake Tears is nice to boost my Raptors to death. as well as weaken things to Typhlo and Basque. And then Taunt is because I was running simulations, and that Vivillon can get pretty annoying if I don't put up a taunt. Because if he's like Scarf, he like outspeeds all my guys besides, well, my Scarfer, or like, you know, someone with boosted speed. And if he's like Sash, then I have to like hit him twice, and then I'm not really in a position to do that all the time, right? Because Grimstar has no attacks and it's slow anyway, right? So it's like, alright, I'd rather just run Taunt, and I could shut down all of the guys, stop his protects, stuff like that. I forgot to mention Typhlosion, but yeah, we just have Scarf Typhlosion here. Funny nickname, I know. Basically standard stuff: Eruption, Heat Waves, Shadow Ball. Right now I have Roar here. This might change before the game, honestly. Like, I'm thinking like, okay, let's say I lead like Typhlosion, and I really, and for some reason I'm in a situation where it's like I really cannot afford to let him trick him up. I can go through like, you know, a Roar on the fridge, and that comes out before Trick Room, right? Alternatively, what I can do with Roar is if I suspect that the Blastoise is gonna protect on turn 1, I can Roar it out so that I don't have to deal with turn 2 if I'm bleeding, like, you know, something. I mean, basically, any of Typhlosion is gonna hate Blastoise, right? So if I assume he like protects or something, or tries to fake out and like doesn't attack on turn 1, then I can Roar it. Doesn't attack Typhlosion on turn 1, then I can Roar it, and I'll be at a super advantageous position for turn 2, right? As I'm thinking, I can play the Typhlosion basically one of two ways. Either I can attempt to go for Eruption into Wave Crash. Oh, we're physical, by the way, because I didn't want the fridge to, like, let's say run Max Bedef, and then it would actually live both of my strongest hits there, right? And then, you know, if it runs like Max Fizz, then it lives Staraptor no matter how many boosts I give it. So I decided it's probably best to just do that. Aside from that, yeah, but the Roar might change. Honestly, I just couldn't find like a better extra option, really. But I mean, maybe that changes before the game actually starts. But yeah, you have Wemby, the Raptor, you know, Area 51 duel, if you know ball. But yeah, I'm just running Max Bedef on this guy because, again, ability and special attackers. And then the standard set, I've been like 50-50 between Brave Bird and Wingbeat. Wingbeat's nice because I can, like, you know, Scary Face, speed boost up, outspeed Scarf Vivillon. Actually, we know. Wait, what am I on about? Anyway, I already have speed Vivillon, but I can like you know, boost up and just dual Wingbeat the Sash Vivillon and kill it, or Sash Vileplume. He's very likely to run Sash on one of those guys. I guess he could also be Sash Weavile. But yeah, this takes care of those guys. If I will us dual Wingbeat, but 90 accuracy really sucks, and I don't want to lose the game to that. And then it's so weak, where it's like, if I have to rely on that to, like, you know, kill something annoying, it's gonna suck. I mean, it's not an end all be all, because as I said, he doesn't have like ghost types or something like Chaw or anything. First, like, I really need to output like crazy amounts of flying type damage. So like the main problem is just, you know, slash Vileplume or Vivillon. It's gonna be a nightmare if I don't run dual Wingbeat. So I mean, we'll see. It might change by the time the game starts. You have a Earl 5000, the Espathra. Yeah, this guy is just, I don't know, Calm Mind Sweeper set. I'm running Lumina Crash over Stored Power, because in case he ends up next to one of my special attackers. You know, it's pretty convenient to give them a boost, kind of like fake tears, but you know, as an actual attack. I have to earn Dazzling Gleam so I can hit Weavile. There's honestly not the worst chance in the world that this guy sets up. As you can see, I'm not even running HP, I'm just running all but death. That might change. I might run some HP. Just to make sure I don't like, I don't know, take some egregious amount of damage from the Tauros. But yeah, I'm Cold Berry, so I can live knockoff, guarantee, and then, you know, just Dazzling Gleam to a KO. I also have, but yeah, Speed Boost. Opportunist is a thing, but man, not now. I thought of some like other things I could do, because there's like Feather Dance for Raptor synergy, and also Light Screen for Raptor synergy. Now, this guy is too bad for Raptor, but you know, if the Trick Room goes up, then I'm gonna like regret that. Then it's like this guy is like kind of a worse partner for Raptor than Grimmsnarl, and you know, aside from that, I don't want to like make too much of my team too passive, because I mean half my offense is coming from ghost types, right? And then lastly, I have a Slurpuff who actually is passive. This guy's only here like because like I just want him to like not click Sleep Powder. Honestly, and this is probably like the biggest deterrent. I'll never know if it's in the back or not, right? Because I could bring this in at any time, dodge the sleep and do some funny stuff. We have Helping Hand for nice power boost on our big single target or big spread moves. Light Screen, because again, a bunch of special attackers. I mean, and then we have Yawn, like for like some disruption, slowing down, right? So, and Citrus Berry just for healing. Well, that I might change too, but yeah. Our main duos, so I already mentioned these guys, basically cooking the lead slot. And like, you know, this guy firing in Trick Room, and you know, this guy, yeah, just applying a bunch of offensive pressure, right? Because I only talked about like the Fridge and Blastoise lead, but against like you might think like the Iron Ball kind of hurts against the other leads, but it actually doesn't matter, because against like let's say Torkoal Valplume, right? Scarf Timid outspeeds max speed Valplume, and then Eruption brings it down to Sash. Aqua Jet goes for the KO. There's no after use shenanigans, no Sleep Powder shenanigans there. Timid also outspeeds Vivillon, right? So if it's Scarf, it's good, and then if it's Sash, we can Aqua Jet it. And at first, I know what item they are, right? So I think game one, I'm always gonna lead Typhlo just to get maximum info on the items. I'll see everything from there. I think that's what I always do in game one, and then I probably will also always Eruption into Wave Crash or something. Well, I guess I might have to go for 50 power last respects in the Blastoise. Cause what I'm thinking is he doesn't know Iron Ball in game one, right? So game one, Eruption, just deal some chips so that Wave Crash kills the Fridge soon, right? And then I let him get the room up while I, you know, do as much damage to Blastoise as possible, putting him in the range of something like Raptor or, you know, just more attacks later on, right? And it helps. It's nice to chip him down in case he does decide to like attack and not protect. If he protects, then that's fine too, because then it means, you know, next turn out slow everything, I can just Wave Crash and like, you know, absolutely nuke the Fridge, right? Which will be a big surprise, and then I'll be able to have an advantage now in the game with Castle and the other guy. I guess the only thing is that that's why I was thinking about Roaring Blastoise, because it's really, really annoying if Legion is dead and Trick Room is up against Blastoise. So that's why Roar might be an option as well for game 1. Second mode, when me castle Area 51. Basically I just like light screen protect on one turn, you know, fake tears up CC every other turn. If one of the sleepers are up, I go for taunt. If Weavel's out, I get scary face and attack. I probably want to find out what item Weavile is though, or at least figure out who has the sass on his team before I want to, like, you know, just go all in on Weavile. So that's what I'm thinking of, not leading these guys until game 2 or 3. And then, well, yeah, these guys, basically, you know, if I think, alright, just gonna pack a bunch of special attackers, and these guys, I light screen, calm mind, yawn, and protect, and they just start harassing everything on the board. Because essentially the idea is like, Slurpuff, you know, a Spellfire stalls out and calm mind's up to survive, right? Slurpuff, this guy's frail, probably dies, right? And doesn't accomplish much. But if you could get the light screen and the yawn up, then, you know, my Raptor's in great position, or like, you know, my special attackers are also in great position, stuff like that. So yeah, that's the play there. So yeah, EVs are pretty standard. I just have a bunch of guys as SPDF. Really, like literally everything as SPDF. So I mean, it'd be pretty funny if he somehow finds a way to like goop me with the Weavile or the Tauros Fire, but I mean, it's not like Weavile literally hits like 4 of my guys for super effective damage, but I mean, one's a Scarfer, the other one has Intimidate, and is almost always gonna have enough support, like, you know, to not immediately lose to Weavile, right? And this guy's Colberberry, so really there's only one guy who just hates Weavile. And honestly, I might even, I mean, actually, I don't think I'm bulking. I mean, depending on his investment, I might live knockoff too, right? So, not too worried about that. But yeah, I think that's it for the team breakdown today. It's kind of rambly. I've never did one of these before. But I hope it was enjoyable nonetheless. Some things are subject to change. I guess I'll mention at the start of the, you know, battle video. I mean, it's gonna be one video, but I'll mention at the start of the battle if something does end up change between now and tomorrow when we actually fight. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Au revoir.